In the next 3 years, AI will create more millionaires than the internet did. The question is, will you be one of them? We're not talking about a trend, we're talking about a complete restructuring of how wealth is created, how businesses sell, how they build product, how they grow. And with the speed at which this is moving, that 3-year window could be even shorter. This isn't the first time this has happened. Throughout history, disruptive innovations have created hundreds of thousands of successful businesses, while others were forced to close their doors. From electricity to computers and software, technology has always changed what normal in business means. We're in a similar revolution, but like any revolution, there is a lot of noise about what you should be doing. So if you want to be one of those who sees the opportunity and come out with a great business on the other side, then pay attention to this video, because I'm going to break down in simple terms what to focus on so you don't get lost in all that noise. My team and I have personally mentored around 257 people in the last 6 months to launch and scale to AI agencies. It's important to mention that before teaching others, we scale our own online business to $6 million in revenue per year in just 2.5 years. The same business we continue to run to this day, and it's on track to hit 8 figures next year. Now, going back to what I mentioned before, there are many people making noise about everything related to AI. What I'm looking to do is educate you on how to use this technology to make a radical change in your business. And if at any point you feel I'm providing value and you would like to learn more, you can do so in the link in the description. Having said that, here is how I will structure the video in 3 pillars. In pillar 1, I will tell you how to avoid the trap that people and businesses fall into, the one that doesn't allow them to see the real opportunity. In pillar 2, I will share the necessary playbook to succeed and build wealth in the AI era. And in pillar 3, the mental framework you will need to achieve this. Pillar 1. Avoiding the AI trap. Right now, every week, there is something new. A new AI tool, a new automation, new business opportunities. It makes us feel like we're constantly falling behind. And the reality is, this isn't going to stop. That's exactly why it's important to identify what's adding more complexity than necessary at this point in your journey. And it's not easy. There are hundreds of people saying there is something new and better than before. The problem is, you're always chasing trends. You will never make progress on what actually moves the needle. Because you make money by doing the right things at the right time. Later on, there is of course more room for experimentation like with everything, but for now, focus is very important. If you want to hit your first million, you won't get there by doing a mix of crypto trading, AI automation, and trying some consulting on the side. All the people you see online making 7 figures for the first time, they picked one lane 5 years ago and never looked back. Malcolm Gladwell said it best. He said it requires 10,000 hours to achieve mastery. You know how fast you hit 10,000 hours when you're splitting time between 5 things? Never. You will never hit it. So with AI constantly evolving, it's more important than ever to have the ability to move in the right direction with focused attention. You need to find one problem you can solve better than anyone else in the world. Not 3 problems, not 5, 1. Then solve it 1,000 times. The reality is you are going to mess up a lot. That's the whole point. You test, you learn, you adjust, over and over in that same space. I will break down the specifics in a second. Typically people fail because they're already trying to chase the next thing before they have mastered the first thing. You need laser focus to cut through. Because right now, anyone can prompt LLMs. Anyone can use AI to build surface level stuff. That's the easy part. What's rare is spending enough time in one market to actually understand the people, their real frustration, what keeps them up at night, what they would pay anything to fix. That problem understanding, that's what creates solutions worth 6 or even 7 figures. New, but surface level gets you surface level money. Depth is where the real wealth lives. And focus is how you get there. There is a perfect analogy for this. In 1870, the Industrial Revolution was exploding, and steel was going to change everything. Trains, buildings, bridges, everything was going to be built with steel. It was huge, like AI now. And obviously, hundreds of entrepreneurs saw the opportunity and said, I want a piece of that. And you know what they all did? The same thing as always. So they started saying, oh, okay, let's make steel, but we also need the iron mines, and we also need the coal mines, and obviously the railroads to transport it, and many other things. They wanted to control everything. Then comes Andrew Carnegie. He sits down, studies the entire process, and notices something. There were about 12 steps to making steel. And everyone was trying to do all 12. Then he asked himself, what if instead of doing all 12 steps, I absolutely dominate one? And he chooses production, just steel production. Not mining, not transportation, not construction, none of that, just make the best steel as cheap as possible. His own partners told him he was crazy. Why don't we buy the mines, the railroads? This is where the real money is. And he said, no. Every dollar I have, every innovation, every improvement, Everything goes into making better steel, and that's exactly what he did. While all of his competitors were dividing their money and energy between mining, transportation, production, sales, Carnegie actually put 100% into one single thing. He hired the best engineers in the world, but only for production. He implemented the Bessemer process before anyone else. All focus on production. He was obsessed with one metric, cost per ton. And look at the numbers. In 1875, steel cost $100 per ton. By 1900, Carnegie was producing it at $12 per ton. Nobody could compete with that. And in 1901, he sold the entire business to JP Morgan for $480 million. He became the richest man in America, and then Carnegie said something very simple. Give me perfection in just one part. When you are that efficient in one critical part of the chain, you end up controlling the entire industry, without even owning everything. Carnegie didn't have the mines or the railroads, but he produced steel so cheaply that he dominated the entire market anyway. And now look at where you are. Yes, you are in a revolution exactly as big as the steel one. And again, I see everyone running around like crazy, trying to launch a new AI business model or implementation every time something new comes out. What if you do what Carnegie did? Choose one service where AI makes delivery faster and better, don't try to control the entire AI market, absolutely dominate one part, make it so good, so efficient, so valuable that when someone needs that specific thing, they automatically think about you. Having established this principle, now let's go to pillar 2, the playbook. If you're just starting and don't have a digital business yet, the first part will be more important. And the last part is for those of you who already have something running and need to make sure you get the most out of it. First, what problem are you going to solve? What is that problem that we are going to dedicate time and attention to? That we are going to build skill and provide solutions around? Businesses have 3 fundamental types of problem. The first one is saving money, which means reducing costs, eliminating unnecessary things, and improving margins. Second is saving time, automating manual tasks, accelerating slow processes, and freeing up the team's time. And the third, and the most important in my opinion, is what usually business are ready to pay the most for: making more money, getting more sales, better positioning, opening new channels to acquire potential clients. In every industry, there are hundreds of thousands of companies looking for solutions to these problems. And if you are familiar with any, I recommend starting in one of them. But there is one important caveat. This industry has to have enough capital, and it has to have a high demand. So what do you offer to these companies? You offer them the same solutions they've been looking for, solutions that haven't changed for years. Now, of those 3 problems I just mentioned, there is one that stands above the rest. Think about this. A business can survive with tight margins for a while. They can get by being inefficient for some time. But you know what a business cannot survive without? Customers, new clients coming through the door. Revenue. That's why make more money isn't just the most important problem, it's also the most urgent one. And within that category, there is one specific solution that every business, no matter the industry, is desperately trying to figure out. How do I get more people who actually want to buy from me? My favorite, and the one where I believe the best opportunity exists, if you don't have one yet, is lead generation. It is where business owners pay mid 4 figures to 5 figures to solve this problem every single month. The best thing about this type of business is that it's a service-based business, so you don't have to create something from scratch. At the end of the day, when you are starting out, why would you waste so much time creating something when what you need is to build skill? Now you can build faster with AI by your side. In reality, with the right framework, the speed of implementation and the team size needed to deliver a quality service have been reduced by 80%. If you learn how to generate more clients for another business, then you can actually replicate it within another one, in the same industry or similar. And at the same time, you can actually replicate it for yourself. Now, let me show you the actual math. 5 years ago, if you wanted to start a lead generation agency, you needed capital. You needed a lot of cash. I'm talking 15K to 25K per year per person in tools alone, before you even landed your first clients. Because to deliver quality lead gen, you needed a team. You needed lead researchers, data analysts, outreach specialists. Even the tools alone, if you think about ZoomInfo, SalesLoft, Salesforce, were easily costing you multiple 6 figures in software subscriptions. You needed that team to get clients, but you needed clients to afford the team. Today it's not the case anymore. Those old tools that costed multiple 6 figures per year, you don't even need them anymore. Now you have even better tools that cost around $200 to $500 per month. Building a list of 500 qualified prospects used to take multiple days of manual research. Now, you can do it in hours. The barrier to entry didn't just drop, it collapsed entirely. Now you might be thinking, wait, if the barrier dropped for me, it probably dropped for everyone else too. Won't this market get saturated? So the answer is a bit more complex. Yes and no. Yes, everyone has access to the same AI tools, but, and this is critical, 80 to 90% of them are using it all wrong. They're using AI to do more of the same garbage they were doing before manually, and it's killing them. Because everyone with AI thinks the answer is send more emails. So they're blasting 10,000 contacts with generic AI written messages, And you know what happens? Reply rates below 1%, 46% of all emails globally is now marked as spam. They have the tools, but they don't have the strategy. You're going to do the exact opposite. You're going to use AI to do better. So while everyone else is racing to the bottom with volume, you're building a reputation on quality. And that reputation is your advantage. Because here is the thing. AI tools are a commodity. Anyone can buy them. But knowing how to use them correctly, that's extremely rare. Every major technology has a window of opportunity. A period where the people who see it early capture insane advantage. E-com, the window was from 95 to 2005. Mobile was from 2007 to 2014. Social media organic reach was from 2008 to 2014. Facebook organic reach went from nearly 100% to below 1% by 2018. If you weren't early, you missed the window entirely. The AI window of opportunity is even shorter. The telegraph took 56 years to reach 50% adoption, the internet took 7 years, smartphones took 5, and AI is projected to hit 50% adoption in 3 years. We're already at 88% of businesses using AI in some form. That means that there is a gap right now between adoption and execution, and that gap is your window, but it's closing fast. In 12 to 18 months, a lot of people will have figured this out. Prices will drop and margins will compress. The people who move now, who pick talents now, who start building now, they're going to have 12 to 18 months of experience, case studies and momentum when everyone else is just starting. And the people who wait, they will be competing on price in a race to the bottom. Okay, so now you understand why lead gen. You understand why now? The next question is obvious. How do I actually get started? This is where most people freeze. I see it all the time. They understand the opportunity, they know they should move, but they get stuck in this loop. Okay, but I need to learn more first. I need to take this course. I need to watch more YouTube videos. I need to be ready. Let me tell you something. You will never be ready. There is no amount of learning that will make you feel ready to get your first clients. The only thing that makes you ready is getting your first clients and trying to do your best to deliver results. How many months have you spent learning without building anything? Be honest with yourself. Watching videos, taking courses, reading blog posts, and at the end of all of that, how many clients do you have? Most of them still never launch a business because consuming content feels like progress, but it's not. It's procrastination disguised as productivity. You don't need 100 clients. You need one client who trusts you, just one. And you know where you find that first client? Not on some cold outreach campaign to strangers. Your network, industries you are familiar with, niches that are small enough that everyone else ignores them. Here is the offer that works at the beginning. I will get you results or you don't pay. Performance-based, results-based. Why does this work? Because you are eliminating the risk for them. You are saying, I will take the risk and you only pay if I deliver. And yeah, that means you carry the risk now. But you have something they don't. You have AI. You have frameworks that let you deliver in 4 hours what used to take 40 hours. You can afford to take that risk because your cost to deliver is nearly zero. One yes from a client is worth more than 100 I need to learn more first. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Client 1 is complete chaos. You are going to mess up a lot. You will learn what not to do. You will discover which tools actually work and which ones are just hype. Client 2 is probably going to be a bit less chaos. You have refined 30% of your process, you know the major mistakes to avoid, you're starting to see patterns. But client 3, that's when you have a system. Something you can go again and again with predictable results. And each of those clients paid you to learn. That's the difference between people who make it and people who don't. The ones who make it are building while everyone else is learning. Because clients don't want perfection. They want someone who gets better every single week. Someone who's obsessed with improving their results. That's what keeps clients long term. Now, once you have your first few clients, here is where AI changes the game. Each client company used to have 5 SDR in-house doing prospecting and outreach. 5 full-time people. The cost per SDR is about 50k in salary a year, but that's not the real costs. You add the benefits, taxes, tools, training, management overheads. The fully loaded cost of an SDR is 80k to 130k per year. So one company with 5 SDRs is spending 250k per year just on that function. 250k, and that's just the prospecting team. Here is where you come in. With AI plus the right frameworks, you, one person, can deliver the same work those 5 SDRs were doing. And you can charge 3k to 10k per month, that's 60k to 120k per year. So let's do some quick maths. The client saves 250k minus 60k to 120k equals 130k to 190k per year. They save 50 to 75% on cost. Think about what that means. You are doing the work that used to require 15 to 25 SDR total across your clients, and you are doing it better, faster and cheaper than they could do in-house. That's not incremental improvement, that's a fundamental restructuring of economics. Everything I just showed you, the playbook, the strategies, the AI leverage, it's all completely useless without this one thing. I've seen people with the perfect plan fail, and I've seen people with a mediocre plan succeed. Strategy without the right mindset is just expensive education. So let me give you the mental frameworks you absolutely need. Principle 1, the truth about time. Let me destroy a fantasy right now. You've seen it everywhere. 6 months to 6 figures. Get rich quick with AI. Quit your job in 90 days. Is it possible? Sure, but for about maybe 10% max. For the other 90%, it's a lie. And that lie is what causes most people to quit right before they would have succeeded. Let me show you the real timeline. My team and I, we hit $6 million per year in 2.5 years. And you know what? That's actually really fast. Year 2 is when things start to get exponential. Everything you built in year 1 compounds, and the data backs this up. Only 15% of businesses are profitable in year 1, but 40% additional businesses become profitable in year 2 or 3. Survival rate of businesses tell the story. Year 1, 21% failure rate. Year 2, 11% additional failure. And year 3, 8% additional failure. Each year you survive, your odds of long-term success go up dramatically. But most people quit in month 4, right when things are about to click. They see 6 months to 6 figures, and when month 4 comes and they are not there yet, they think that they've failed, so they quit. And they never see what month 14 would have looked like for them. So here is your new mental framework. Don't ask, why is this going so slow? Ask, am I improving every week? That's it. If you're improving every week, even slightly, you're on the right path. If you're learning, if you're adjusting, if you're getting better, you're not behind. You're exactly where you should be. This isn't get rich quick, but it's getting richer certainly if you don't quit. Principle 2. The decision filter. Every single day you're going to be tempted to chase something new. It's exactly what we were mentioning before. You're going to hear about AI automation, AI trading, new crypto, a new course, a new strategy. None of these are bad opportunities. They're just not your opportunity right now. Here is a framework on help you deciding. You need to ask yourself, does this move me closer to dominating lead generation or whatever skill you picked? If the answer isn't a clear yes, it's a no. For example, new AI tool that helps you qualify prospect faster. Yes. Learning day trading with AI. No. Completely different path. Your brain confuses novelty with progress. Something new feels like you're moving forward, but novelty and progress are not the same thing. It's better to feel bored while doing the right thing than to feel excited doing the wrong thing. You know what's boring? Doing the same thing 1,000 times. Sending emails, doing some outbound, qualifying prospects, closing clients, delivering results over and over and over. You know what's exciting? Jumping to a new opportunity every 3 months, and you know what's profitable? The boring thing, not the exciting thing. So when you are bored, when you are tempted to chase something shiny, remember, boredom can mean that you are getting good at something. And getting good is exactly when it gets dangerous, because that's when most people self-sabotage by starting over. If you found this useful and you want to learn how to launch and scale an agency past 40k per month using AI, I have actually put together a step-by-step video that shows exactly how to do it. You can go watch it by clicking on the next video. Thanks a lot for watching this one, and I will see you in the next one.